The cinematography? I felt like a story was missing. Hi, I am Javier and this is the Geek Filter. Watch until the end for a fun fact. Where to begin? This movie is about airplanes that shoot each other down, a British Army One Direction battalion, the old guy that we all loved in Bridge of Spies being all nice and featherly, or Kenneth Branagh's perfect pronunciation. All of that wrapped up in a series of seriously unnecessary time jumps. The popular websites say the following about what happens in the movie. Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Empire, and France are surrounded by the German army and evacuated during a fierce battle in World War II. Dunkirk portrays the evacuation from three perspectives: land, sea, and air. Acclaimed author Christopher Nolan directs this World War II thriller about the evacuation of Allied troops from the French city of Dunkirk before Nazi forces can take hold. Before I take apart those synopses in the spoiler-loaded video about Dunkirk, I just want to say that, in my opinion, a film should stand on its own. It shouldn't need you, the viewer, to go looking for cast or crew interviews so that you can understand why such an unentertaining movie is so praised by the critics and media, and why they call it probably the best film in Nolan's career. It shouldn't need the slogan, the trailer, or the synopsis, or even the real-life event. Even if I never heard about it, I should be able to fully enjoy the film. Nolan says that the miracle of Dunkirk, referring to the real-life event, is something that is deeply rooted in the mind of the public. I didn't hear him right the first time, but he was talking about the British public. In that same interview, Nolan states that his intention was specifically not to show the bloody side of the war, but the human side. I actually cannot say much about this without giving some stuff away, but I'll agree that he definitely didn't deliver any of the usual stuff about war, and he did deliver some scenes that you wouldn't normally see. Since the film's based on the true story, I'm not sure about which parts would be spoilers and which would not. However, I've done a bit of reading about the film's historical accuracy, and they say it's really bad. At the end, it is a work of fiction, so I don't think that really counts as an argument about the quality of the film, or if you liked it. In fact, I think the fidelity to reality should never be a factor while commenting on a fictional work. The film is set in the World War II scenario, in the northern French beach of Dunkirk, where 400,000 soldiers are stranded and cornered by the German army. That's the setup, and if I try to lead you on what happens next, spoilers. So here's what I can say. At first, I wasn't too compelled to watch this movie because I felt that it was going to be dull and dense and oh look, another movie about a war, but it wasn't. It does show everything else, but it was definitely dull. It didn't have any tension that would keep me interested. I was utterly confused when the movie ended. I thought it was bad. I looked around to check if I was the only one. Luckily enough, my best friend also didn't like it, but we seemed to be alone. Everyone seemed to like it, and it surely reflects on ratings on the web. Pretty high, right? I actually did my part and voted down on every side I could. I can understand the critics would say stuff like, the director's take on this historic event is marvelous, and the frames and angles she shot are incredible, and whatever, but don't give me that pompous BS. I think they've been a bit blinded by Nolan's successful career, and I'm not saying he doesn't have any good works. In fact, one of my favorite movies is his. I just believe this particular one lacked an engaging character, something to look forward to or dread. In short, a story. I started doubting about my own opinion, so I went online to see if any critics' thoughts matched mine. Luckily, I found one on The Guardian and my soul came back to my body. He gutted the film. The article's full of spoilers, by the way. But it was nice to see I wasn't the only one. The one thing I did like was the cinematography. I'm no expert on that. I like the feeling of being in the past that the film evoked through its kind of sepia-ish colors. Also, there are some pretty good shots in general, and especially in the few action scenes we get, although those are kind of slow. So check for the cinematography and directing aspects of this film. Hey, I didn't like it, but you might. I actually have a friend that really loved it. What matters is that you form your own opinion. But if you ask me, I'd give it a something's missing in the Geek Filter's ranking. Fun fact, in the film, they used 12 of the vessels that were in the actual evacuation in 1940. Once you've seen it, tell me, what do you think? If you want this to be spoiler-free, that's as much as I can give you. Watch this video. There's something wrong with the concept of quantity in this film. Spoiler alert! For some spoiler-loaded opinions on Dunkirk, here on the Geek Filter. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more film reviews on the Geek Filter. And be sure to check out my Patreon page, where I share exclusive content. Thanks for watching. Bye!